Chosen one, everything you prayed for is arriving now. You didn't stumble across this message by chance. Something deeper, something divine, has been guiding you to this very moment. You may not have realized it, but every quiet whisper of hope, every tear shed in solitude, and every breath you took while carrying the weight of the unknown has brought you here. The universe has been listening. God has been preparing. And now, something sacred is shifting. This video holds a message that was meant to find you. Watch it till the very end, because every word has been carefully poured from a divine stream meant just for your heart. And when you've heard the last word, we invite you to write your warmest, most heartfelt wishes in the comments, followed by the number 77. To claim the energy that's being released into your life right now. You're not watching this by accident. You're being aligned with something sacred. Now, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let's dive deeper. You've been patient. You've endured the drought, the silence, the delay. And yet, in your heart, you never stopped believing that a breakthrough was coming. This belief, fragile as it may have seemed at times, is what sustained the energy around your prayers. That energy has not gone unnoticed. Chosen one, everything you prayed for is arriving now. Not tomorrow, not in some distant future, but now. This is the moment when the unseen begins to be seen. And it's not because you were lucky, it's because you stayed the course when everything tried to pull you away. The wishes you sent out into the universe have been charging the air, and now, like lightning, they're striking down into your reality. But the blessing isn't just in what you're about to receive. It's in who you've become, in the waiting. You've been forged in fire. Every delay shaped you. Every disappointment taught you. And though you might have questioned it all, though you may have looked at the sky wondering if you'd ever hear back, your spirit remained unshaken. Deep down, something inside you refused to let go. That strength is not ordinary. It's the mark of someone chosen. It's the proof of a deeper calling. You are not here to live an average life. You are not here to conform, to shrink, or to dim your own light to fit in. You are here to shine in a way that shakes the atmosphere. You were called to stand out. And now, the winds are changing in your favor. You might not see the full picture yet, but you can feel the stirring. Something is moving, something powerful. That shift in your chest, that electric pull in your spirit, that's not anxiety. That's alignment. You're stepping into the season where the doors that once rejected you will open wide without you even knocking, where the same places that overlooked you will now chase after your presence. The favor that's about to be released over your life won't make sense to the ones who doubted you, but it will make perfect sense to your soul, because your soul has known this moment was coming all along. Don't second guess it. Don't downplay it. Don't tell yourself you're not ready. You are. In fact, you've been ready. The preparation didn't happen in public. It happened in secret. In the moments you cried and no one saw. In the prayers you whispered with trembling lips. In the choices you made when it was easier to give up. That hidden strength, that's your foundation. And now, it's rising to the surface. People may not understand the kind of endurance it took for you to hold on. They may never know the battles you fought behind the smile. But heaven knows, and because heaven knows, it rewards. The blessings coming into your life now are not random. They are rewards, not for being perfect, but for being faithful. Not for never falling, but for always rising. You're not entering just any chapter. You're entering the chapter where restoration becomes visible, where broken things begin to heal, where confusion makes way for clarity, where the tears you cried become the water that nourishes your garden. This is the part of your story where the plot twists in your favor. It's not just about material things, it's about alignment, peace, inner power, a deeper trust. You're about to feel what it means to truly be backed by divine timing. Things will click, people will arrive, opportunities will knock that once felt like distant dreams. And when it happens, it won't overwhelm you. It will feel like home. That familiar sense of doubt may try to creep in, wondering if it's too good to be true. But remind yourself, you've been through too much to question whether you deserve this. You do. You deserve the goodness. You deserve the ease. You deserve the joy that doesn't require struggle to justify it. This isn't just a reward, it's a responsibility. Because now you carry light, and not everyone will understand it. Some will question it, others may try to dim it. But you must protect it. You must own it. You must walk with the knowing that your life is not small, that your impact reaches further than you realize, and that by saying yes to your path, you're unlocking something in others as well. So yes, this is your time. This is your now. And everything you prayed for, it's not just on its way, it's here. Walk forward with the confidence of someone who is already living the answered prayer. Because you are. You may not see it clearly yet, but something in your spirit already knows. The season has shifted. The weight you've been carrying is starting to lift. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you've grown strong enough to rise above it. There is a stillness forming around your heart, the kind that doesn't come from outside validation, but from inner knowing. That knowing whispers, it's time. You've waited long enough in the wilderness of uncertainty. The delay was never a denial, it was preparation. It was a sacred reshaping of your being, of your beliefs, of your boundaries. And now, what was once blurry is starting to become clear. You're beginning to understand why things didn't happen when you wanted them to. You're beginning to sense the wisdom behind every closed door. The timing wasn't off, it was divine. And now, that divine timing is opening the floodgates. You don't need to chase anything anymore. You've done the work. You've cried the tears. You've laid the foundation in silence. What's coming now will not come because you strive. It will come because you surrendered. You trusted the process. You kept walking when your legs were shaking. You showed up even when no one clapped. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you ready. This is not a coincidence. It's convergence of purpose, of preparation, of prophecy. Everything is aligning in a way that may feel surreal at first. People will call it luck, but you'll know better. You'll know it was every invisible act of courage, every unseen moment of faith, every decision to believe when belief was costly. You paid the price in patience. Now the reward is arriving in waves. But don't expect the world to understand it. Some will be confused by your elevation. Some will resent it. You'll feel the tension between the old and the new, the comfort of who you were, and the calling of who you're becoming. And that tension is sacred. Don't run from it. Let it stretch you. Let it transform you. Because you cannot carry the blessing with the same mindset that once carried the burden. Let go of the need to explain yourself. Let go of the urge to shrink for the comfort of others. Let go of the idea that you must earn every good thing. You've already earned it by enduring what others didn't see. You've already proven your capacity by standing when everything told you to fall. This chapter won't be about chasing. It will be about attracting. Because when you're aligned with what's meant for you, it begins to find you effortlessly. Your energy speaks louder than your effort. Your presence begins to shift rooms, not because you're louder, but because you're aligned. That's what you're stepping into now. A presence that speaks before you do. A confidence that doesn't need to shout. The doors that are opening now are not just opportunities, they're confirmations that your journey wasn't in vain, that your heartbreak wasn't wasted, that your loneliness had purpose. Everything that seemed like a loss was actually a lesson. And now, those lessons have matured into wisdom. And wisdom opens doors that hustle never could. You won't have to beg for belonging. You won't have to force your way in. What's coming will recognize you. It will resonate with you. It will fit without friction. Because it's for you. Not the version of you that pretended. Not the version that settled. But the true version. The one that emerged from the ashes. You are not here by accident. You are the result of divine precision. And that divine force is not done with you. It's only just beginning. The path ahead may still have twists, but now you walk it with power, with presence, with the awareness that you're not alone. So take a deep breath. Inhale peace, exhale fear. And remember, the breakthrough is not something that comes to you. It's something that comes from you. You carry it. You attract it. You are it. What you prayed for is arriving, not just in material ways, but in how you think, how you speak, how you move. The new you is stepping out of the shadows. No more playing small. No more doubting your own light. You were chosen for this, and now it's unfolding. This is your unfolding. Don't resist it. Don't rush it. Just receive it. Let it come as softly or as powerfully as it needs to. Because however it comes, it will come with purpose, and you are ready to hold it. You've entered a space where things begin to move without force. You're not in the old cycle anymore, even if your surroundings haven't caught up yet. What's happening now is deeper than the eye can see. You're being repositioned from the inside out. Not because you begged for it, not because you rushed it, but because you aligned with it. You've gone through seasons where everything felt delayed, where your prayers seemed to hang in the air unanswered, echoing in silence. But what you didn't realize is that even in those silent moments, something was happening. The roots were growing underground. The foundation was being strengthened where no one could see it. And now, because of that hidden growth, your life is ready to bloom in ways that don't make sense by human logic. This isn't just about receiving something external. It's about finally becoming the version of yourself that your spirit always knew you were meant to be. You're no longer asking the world for permission. You're no longer chasing validation. You've stopped begging people to see your worth, because now you feel it within you. And that's the most powerful shift of all. This is when you begin to walk differently, not with arrogance, but with assurance, not with fear, but with fire. Because when you know who you are, the world around you must adjust. People who once ignored your presence will start to recognize your energy. Not because you've changed for them, but because you've changed for yourself. You don't have to explain your evolution. The ones meant for you will understand without needing a word. And the ones who don't, let them go. Let them drift. Your destiny no longer depends on being accepted. Your blessing is not a group decision. It's a divine decision. There's a glow returning to your spirit. A light that had dimmed during the storm is now being rekindled, not by external comfort, but by internal clarity. You now see that everything was part of the plan. The waiting, the losing, the rebuilding, all of it. None of it wasted. Even your lowest points were infused with sacred instruction. You've outgrown old patterns. You no longer move from desperation, but from discernment. You no longer settle for connections that drain you, places that devalue you, or roles that shrink you. You've remembered who you are, and because of that, the world must now treat you accordingly. Let this next season of your life be marked not by noise, but by knowing. You won't have to scream for attention. You'll carry a stillness that demands respect. You won't have to beg for opportunities. They'll flow to the version of you who finally believes in what's always lived inside. You are stepping into alignment with the energy of answered prayers, the frequency of fulfillment, the rhythm of peace. And as you do, the universe rearranges itself to mirror the truth you now carry. That truth says you are worthy of what's coming. You are not here to chase it, compete for it, or doubt it. You are here to receive it because it's already yours. The path ahead won't be perfect, but it will be purposeful. You may still face challenges, but now you'll face them from a higher perspective. Your strength isn't just emotional, it's energetic. It flows through everything you touch. Your presence has weight now. It shifts rooms, heals hearts, and opens doors. And the most powerful part of all this, you don't need to convince anyone. You don't need to shout your success. You just need to walk in your truth. The truth that says, I am chosen, I am aligned, and everything I once reached for is now reaching for me. You are not who you used to be, and that's a victory no one can take from you. Celebrate it, honor it, live from it. Because from this point on, your life is no longer built on survival. It's built on sovereignty. You're no longer reacting to life. You're creating it. And what you're creating now is built from a healed place, a powerful place, a divinely designed place. This isn't just a new season. This is a new dimension of living. You've crossed an invisible line, a spiritual threshold, and nothing will be the same. Not because life magically fixes itself, but because you've changed. And when you change, your energy shifts. And when your energy shifts, everything attached to your old self begins to fall away. Not to punish you, but to make room for what's aligned with who you are now. You're not going back, not to the old ways, the old wounds, the old thinking. You've outgrown the cycles that used to trap you. You no longer respond to life from fear. You respond from truth. You no longer shrink when uncertainty appears. You stand taller, not because everything is perfect, but because you are no longer afraid of the imperfect. There is freedom in your energy now, a calmness that can't be faked, a maturity that wasn't given, it was earned. You earned it in every moment you kept going when you felt forgotten. You earned it in the silence, where you learned to trust yourself again. You earned it when you decided that peace was more important than being understood. That kind of growth is not accidental. It is spiritual. It is divine. And now, it speaks for you louder than words ever could. People may look at you and wonder how you're glowing, how you're rising, how doors are opening without effort. But they didn't see the seasons when you watered your soul in secret, when you rebuilt yourself with nothing but tears and a little bit of faith. They see the result, but they don't know the process, and that's okay. They don't have to. You didn't become this version of yourself for applause. You became it out of necessity, out of hunger, out of the sacred whisper inside you that said, there's more. And now, there is more. More peace, more flow, more authenticity, more power, but most importantly, more alignment. You are no longer chasing a life that doesn't fit your spirit. You are building a life that reflects your wholeness. You're starting to feel at home in your own skin, in your own story, in your own power. You're not pretending to be okay anymore. You are okay. And even when the storm still roars, you're rooted, because now you trust the ground beneath you. You trust yourself, and you trust the divine timing that governs everything. No longer are you trying to fix everything. You're learning to feel everything, to flow with it. You're not forcing clarity. You're allowing it to rise naturally, because clarity is not always loud. Sometimes it comes in quiet certainty, and that's what you're living in now. A quiet, unshakable certainty that says, I am exactly where I need to be. This is the realm where blessings don't just come, they stay, because you've become the person who can sustain them. Before, you may have doubted yourself, sabotaged your opportunities, or questioned your worth. But now, you welcome the good with open arms. You allow yourself to receive without guilt. You've healed enough to stop apologizing for your light. And you no longer try to convince people of your value. You simply embody it. That embodiment speaks louder than any words. It echoes through your actions, your presence, your peace. You are a living vibration of divine timing fulfilled. You are proof that what is meant for you cannot be delayed forever. From this place of power, you begin to see that the journey was never about the destination. It was about becoming strong enough to hold the life you were designed for. And now, you are. Let that truth settle in your bones. Let it soften your breath. Let it light your path. You don't owe explanations. You don't owe apologies. You don't owe the past any more pieces of you. You owe yourself truth, peace, joy, and you owe the future, the version of you that finally believes in her own light. Because now, more than ever, the universe is reflecting back what you've become: whole, aligned, free. You've crossed into sacred territory now. This is not just transformation, it is transcendence. You're no longer simply changing for the better. You are becoming something completely new. A version of you that doesn't just believe, knows. A version of you that doesn't just hope, walks in full trust. It took time to get here. Pain, silence, cycles that almost broke you. But none of it was wasted. All of it was turning you into someone who would never again forget their own worth. And now, you carry a different frequency, a calm, grounded, radiant energy. You don't need to convince life to treat you well anymore. You attract what you are. You radiate what you desire. You embody the prayers you once whispered with shaking hands. There's something unexplainable happening within you. A peace that doesn't make sense. A confidence that no longer needs approval. A softness that comes not from weakness, but from strength. You don't fear what's ahead. You welcome it. Because you know now that you've been prepared for everything you're about to walk into. And what you're walking into is not just a season of reward. It's a season of remembrance. A time where you remember who you were before fear took hold. Before the world told you who you should be. You're shedding the false layers now, stepping into your divine identity. And it feels like breathing for the first time. There is a powerful truth settling into your spirit. You are allowed to receive without struggle. You are allowed to experience joy without guilt. You are allowed to be seen without fear. For too long, you thought you had to earn your way to peace. But now, you know better. Peace is your birthright. Joy is your natural state. Abundance is not something you chase. It's something that recognizes your energy and flows toward it. You're beginning to notice how things unfold for you without force. The right people arrive. The right words come to you. The right moments find you. Because you've stopped resisting your own power. And once you stop resisting it, the universe stops resisting you. You are a magnet for miracles now, not because you're begging for them, but because you embody the belief that they're possible. Your faith is not fragile anymore. It is solid, lived, proven. It's the foundation you stand on now, and the beauty of this foundation is that it doesn't shake, even when life does. The chaos may still swirl around you, but you no longer let it in. You are centered, rooted, anchored in the knowing that all things are working for you. Even the things that don't make sense. Especially the things that don't make sense. Because now you understand that even confusion carries a blessing. Even detours carry protection. Even endings carry beginnings. And that's why you no longer fear loss. You no longer grasp or cling or fight for what isn't staying. You trust, you release, you allow. This level of surrender isn't passive, it's powerful. It means you know who's guiding your steps. It means you've made peace with not having every answer because you trust the one who does. And from that trust comes a boldness, a courage that can't be faked. You walk with it now. You speak with it. You breathe with it. You've finally stepped into the version of yourself that doesn't just survive, but creates. Creates from love, from clarity, from a place that no longer needs the world's permission to shine. This glow you carry, it's not surface, it's sacred. It's born from pain that didn't destroy you, from trials that refined you. And it speaks to others without a word. People feel it. They may not understand it, but they feel it. Because it carries truth. It carries the frequency of someone who is living in alignment with divine timing. You no longer fear your own greatness. You no longer downplay your worth to make others comfortable. You know now that your light is not a threat. It's an invitation for others to rise too. And those who are meant for you will meet you at this new elevation. Everything you prayed for is no longer a dream. It is becoming your daily life. Not because of luck, but because of alignment. You showed up for yourself. You cleared the space. You held the vision. And now the vision is holding you. Let that be your peace. Let that be your reminder. You are walking in answered prayer. Every step now is sacred. Every breath is blessed. Every moment is dripping with divine possibility. You made it through the fire, and now you rise from it. Not as a victim, but as a vessel. Not as someone who barely made it, but as someone who carries power in their bones. And that power, it's just beginning to speak. This is it, the moment your soul always knew would come. Not a climax of noise, but a deep, sacred stillness, where everything finally clicks, where all the waiting, the pain, the prayers, and the perseverance start to make sense in one radiant breath of clarity. This isn't just the end of the storm. This is the beginning of your divine reign. The arrival isn't loud. It's undeniable. You no longer feel like you're chasing life. You are life. Every cell of your being pulses with divine timing. You are not reaching anymore. You are receiving. And what you are receiving is not just the answer to one prayer. It is the unfolding of your true identity. You're not just living the blessing. You've become the blessing. For the spaces you enter, for the people you touch, for the future generations who will feel the ripple of what you've healed. What you endured did not just shape you, it sanctified you. It awakened the ancient memory inside you of who you were before the world tried to bury your light. And now that light can no longer be dimmed. The world around you may still move in chaos, but you are rooted in calm. You are not reactive anymore. You are reflective. You're not proving your worth. You're walking in it. And when life bends, you don't break. You bend with it, and you bless it. You are the evidence of answered prayers. Not because everything is perfect, but because you've aligned your perception with purpose. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Now you declare, "This is happening for me." That shift in language, that shift in frequency, has changed everything. You're not surviving in fear anymore, you're thriving in fullness. And in this fullness, you start to magnetize more than you imagined. Not because you're lucky, but because you finally became the version of yourself that the blessing was always meant for. It wasn't about getting it sooner. It was about becoming the vessel that could hold it, nurture it, and multiply it. You're not the same. You see it in the way you speak to yourself. You hear it in the way you breathe. You feel it in the way you love. There is grace in your movement. There is certainty in your silence. There is power in your peace. You're not searching for signs anymore. You are the sign. To someone else who's still in their waiting, who's still holding on in the dark, you've become the proof that the dark never wins, that something beautiful is always forming in the shadows. Let that humble you. Let that empower you. Let that remind you your story matters. Your growth matters. Your presence matters. And the world will feel it now more than ever. You're stepping into your destiny not as someone timidly hoping it's real, but as someone who knows it's already written, and written well, with glory, with purpose, with meaning far beyond what the eyes can see. Everything is shifting, and you are not just witnessing it, you are leading it, not with force, but with frequency, with a vibration so aligned that the right people, opportunities, and miracles can't help but find you. They don't come to fill your emptiness. They come to celebrate your wholeness. Because you've already filled the space inside you with love, with light, with presence. You no longer wait to feel complete. You know you already are. And from this knowing, your life expands effortlessly. Not because you mastered control, but because you surrendered control and trusted the unfolding. You trusted yourself. You trusted the divine. And now, that trust is blooming into a reality beyond even your boldest prayers. This is not just an arrival. It's a coronation, a crowning of your spirit, a declaration of your readiness. You are no longer hoping you're chosen. You know you are. And because you know, you walk differently. You speak with intention. You live with purpose. You bless without reason. And you love with depth that doesn't ask for anything in return. You are light. You are truth. You are living proof that what is meant for you doesn't miss you. It finds you at the perfect time, in the perfect way, when you are finally able to hold it with both hands and a healed heart. So walk on, chosen one, not because the road is easy, but because it is yours. And everything you prayed for, it didn't just arrive. It arrived for the most aligned, awakened, and anointed version of you. And that version is finally here. You didn't just receive the blessing, you became the blessing. And now, it's not just about what you've gained, it's about what you're about to give. Because when divine favor finds you, it doesn't stop with you. It flows through you. And that's what's happening now. You're no longer just collecting answered prayers, you're carrying activation. Every room you walk into now senses something has shifted. It's in your posture, in your energy, in the silence between your words. You are no longer who you used to be. The old version of you prayed for this moment, and now that it's here, something else has awakened. Impact. You're not meant to sit still with this power. You're meant to transmit it, to be a signal, a carrier of light in a world that's starving for it. Every breakthrough you've experienced has deposited a frequency into your soul. And now, that frequency is calling out to others who are still trying to find their way through the fog. You've become a lighthouse. You don't even have to say a word. People feel your presence. They sense safety around you, a strange calm, a hope they can't quite explain. It's because you now carry the vibration of someone who knows, not just believes, not just hopes, but knows they are held, chosen, aligned, and divinely guided. This is what the journey was preparing you for all along. You thought the delay was about time, but it was about depth. You thought the pain was about loss, but it was about awakening. Every time life closed in on you, it was pressing you inward, into the core of who you truly are, into the center of your soul's purpose. And now you're emerging, not just alive, but anointed. The things you used to worry about no longer have power over you. You've transcended the noise, the opinions, the doubt, the uncertainty. You walk now with a calm authority. And that calm doesn't come from knowing every answer. It comes from trusting every moment. You are no longer waiting to be given permission to rise. You are the permission. The people who will encounter you from this point on are not just meeting someone who survived. They are meeting someone who remembers why they came here, who remembers what their soul came to deliver, and who walks boldly in that truth, no matter who understands it or not. The blessing was never the end of the journey. It was the ignition point. Now that it's here, your path widens, your reach extends, your words heal, your silence anchors, your vision expands. You are no longer confined by the limitations of your past, because you are no longer defined by the pain that shaped you. You're defined now by the light that guides you. You know the sound of divine timing. You know the taste of patience. You know the depth of alignment. And all of that makes you dangerous. Dangerous to fear, to confusion, to delay, to every lower version of yourself that ever tried to hold you back. This power you now hold isn't loud, it's eternal. It lives in how you love, how you forgive, how you walk into uncertainty without flinching, how you breathe deeply in rooms where others suffocate. You're not here to blend in, you're here to awaken. And now that you're awake, nothing can return you to sleep. The blessing arrived to remind you, you're not just chosen to receive, you're chosen to activate, to awaken, to shift the entire frequency of the space around you. And guess what? You already are. This isn't just your season, it's your signal. You are no longer waiting for a sign. You are the sign. To those who are weary, to those who feel forgotten, to those who wonder if the light will ever come for them. You stand now as a living answer to that question. The shift that began quietly inside you has become a wave in the spirit realm. And that wave is touching more lives than you realize. Every healed part of you is echoing through time and space, sending out a message to every heart that once resonated with your pain. You can rise too. You are no longer just a person who prayed. You are a portal through which divine promises manifest. The beauty of this moment is not just in what you've received, but in how free you've become. Free from the expectations, free from the past, free from the lies that said you weren't enough. And from that freedom, your presence now breathes oxygen into suffocating places. People don't always know why they feel better after speaking with you, why their hearts soften, why they start to believe again. But you do. It's because you're carrying something rare, something sacred, something earned. You're not loud, but you are luminous. You don't argue, but you transform atmospheres. You don't control people, but you shift destinies. There's a reason your light couldn't be extinguished, because it was never meant to burn out. It was meant to ignite others, and now that ignition is unstoppable. But don't mistake this new clarity for perfection. You're still growing, still shedding, still stepping into even greater versions of yourself. But now, you do so from a place of knowing that the divine is not distant, it is within, and that knowing changes everything. You've become fluent in the language of alignment. You feel it in your body. You sense it in conversations. You recognize it in opportunities. And because of that, you no longer accept anything that feels out of tune. You're not afraid to walk away anymore. Not because you're cold, but because you finally respect your warmth. You've given too much of your heart to things that couldn't hold it. And now, you give from overflow, not emptiness. You are magnetic now. Not because you've become someone else, but because you've finally come home to yourself. And as you walk forward, life won't feel like a battle. It will feel like a rhythm, a sacred harmony between who you are and what's meant for you. There may still be challenges, but they won't shake you. You're no longer rooted in fear. You're rooted in flow. This is what it feels like to truly arrive, not at a destination, but in yourself, in your truth, in your divine identity. You are not just here to be blessed. You are here to bless others by being exactly who you are. Your voice has power now, not because it's louder, but because it's aligned. Your steps leave impressions on the earth, not because they're heavy, but because they're holy. And your story is no longer a source of shame. It is a blueprint of hope. So keep rising, keep softening, keep becoming, not for applause, not for validation, but because the world needs you awake. You are not finished. You've only just begun. And everything you prayed for, it was never just about you. It was about the light you'd release once it arrived. And now that it has, you are unstoppable.